I would like to thank and commend Honourable Stephen Pratt for bringing this admirable motion to the House. Now, I've listened to a lot of the contributions, and I agree with all of them, but they are all, but mostly, apart from the Honourable Lorna Harper, mostly giving the higher level of the view of TAFE. I would like to give a view now from the lower level of the individual, the family. Now, it starts, I think, with the idea of schooling. Schools are not for everyone. I have two very intelligent children, and one of them has just finished school and did terribly. Now, the reason for that is not lack of intelligence at all. The creativity was there, but there's nothing in the school which interested him. Now, I look back at my school. I got reasonable marks, of course, but I make no use of trigonometry these days. Geometry is entirely unimportant. I couldn't tell you, apart from the current monarch and his mother, who the monarchs of the UK were. Well, maybe one or two. But so that knowledge, you see, is totally useless. It only serves as a stepping stone to get to the next stage of education and the next stage of education, so you can move on. Now, I found this child of mine, and I'm immensely proud of him, sat in school and suffered because he was just in the wrong place. Mind you, young people are like this. Young men in particular, their brains only finish growing at 23 or 25. And so they have a very difficult time indeed. The emotions are flying, the hormones are going, and life can be just hell. So he left school demoralized, demotivated, uncertain of where to go, beaten down. So I said to him, do you know, no one cares about your ATAR score after you leave school. No one. The question is, what do you want to do and how do you want to get there? So he went to a job centre and they interviewed him and said, what do you like? You don't say that when you go into school. What do you like? He said, this is what I like. And they said, these are the jobs that are available on that, and this is what the chances are of you finding a job in those various areas. He said, oh. So he chose a course which he liked and which had good chances of further development. And then he went to TAFE, North Metro actually. And I have to say, it has been life-saving because he found himself in a cohort of people, not just fresh from school, people who are retraining, people who are changing their direction. And he was able to speak with people a bit more mature than him, more life experience, who told them their stories, who then allowed him to say, I am just like everybody else. And we're all going the same path, and we're all going to go different paths in the future, and it's all good. And he's going through a course and doing very well in that course. And putting in sight that the next thing he is going to do is go on to higher learning. We're actually going to be sending him abroad for life experiences, to get an education using this current education through TAFE as a stepping stone, which he would not have been able to have were TAFE not available to him. So this process has given a young man self-confidence, pride in himself, and a stepping stone to a future, and he can contribute to society as a well-developed, well-formed, highly intelligent, creative young man, of which we need untold numbers in our society. So what we have here is a personal example, multiplied thousandfold, I do believe, thanks to the skills that have been developed in TAFE from the higher level, creating that from the lower level, making use of it. So, Honourable Stephen Pratt, thank you for that, and indeed, thank you to all involved.